Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. April is Earth Month, and that means we have to keep our eye on spoiled food. It's costing us a lot of real money. In fact, every year the average household loses about $1,600 by throwing away uneaten food. Learning how to store food properly is the #1 thing that we can actually do to cut down on food waste. This week is Food Waste Prevention Week, and we have ELAINE FIORE. She's with us. She's the founder of the Food Conservation Alliance, somebody I need to learn a lot with, because being single, ELAINE, I cannot tell you how much food I throw away, and it bothers me. I grew up with you got to eat everything, and I hate seeing it. Are there some easy ways for us to be able to really conserve on food, and why do we have so much food waste in America?
Yes, that's a great question. It's estimated that a third of our food supply goes unsold and uneaten every year in the United States, generating 206 billion pounds of food at a value of $408 billion. So food loss occurs at every step in the food system, starting with our farms. Low market prices and high harvest costs often make it too expensive for our farmers to harvest all their crops. So oftentimes perfectly good food is left on the farms.
Okay.
Manufacturing and processing, 90% of surplus food is actually byproducts, the peels, the stems, bones, parts that are discarded. However, the bulk of our food waste comes from the retail sector and our households. So at the retail sector, it's about 50% of food is discarded at the retail sector because of misunderstanding of best by dates.
Okay.
In addition, retailers throw away food instead of donating it because of liability concerns. There's the federal Bill Emerson Act, which protects donors from liability when donating to a nonprofit.
Yeah, they need that kind of protection, because I'm sure there are people that want to help, but they're like, hey, look, we're such a litigious society. Why would we want to risk ourselves for possibly being sued? And I can see that. What confuses me is that we have so much technology. They know when I buy something and I take it out of the store, they should know that. Why aren't stores actually really catching on to saying with those best by dates and such, knowing how much to order and so that they won't waste? Or is there something in place for that to pretty much help out?
Well, there is currently around the country, there's legislation being written to clarify best by dates, because you'll see on packages, it's very confusing. It'll say best by, sell by,
right?
And they're actually not they're actually not safety dates, they're quality dates. We had someone speak from the Harvard food law policy and kind of explained it like this: the dates that are on the packages, they're not federally regulated. So the manufacturer puts this date, they say, you know what, we are estimating that the food will be at its peak deliciousness at this date. After this date, we can't guarantee it's going to be less delicious, but it's not bad. We don't need to throw it away.
All right, makes sense. What can we do to actually prevent waste, not only maybe at the stores, but also at our house?
Okay, so learn about date labeling. One thing that I was surprised to learn that eggs are actually good 3 to 5 weeks after the best by date. I used to throw them away. You could do an egg test. You put the egg in water, and if it drops to the bottom, it's still good. Dairy is good 7 days beyond the best by date. They say to do the good old sniff test on that one. Learning how to store food properly. What gets stored on the counter at room temperature? What needs to get stored in the refrigerator? What do you freeze? Growing your own food and actually regrowing from food scraps. If you take your romaine lettuce or your green onions and you put them in water, it's kind of cool. They'll start regenerating. Something fun for the kids to see.
I would imagine composting could help out as well. Folks are watching this. Where can we go if they want to find out more information? Where can they find out these great tips?
They can find more information by following at Save the Food FL. We have for Food Waste Prevention Week, it's a social media campaign that shares all kinds of tips on how to save your food and save money. If you on Instagram, there's this creative_explained. He always has fun videos on how to reduce food waste. And last but not least, Save the Food. The NRDC has I've learned so much from the NRDC's SaveTheFood.com.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, ELAINE, and hopefully we'll have more food in our refrigerator that doesn't go bad. Thank you for joining us.